Now the fun part. Now we get to paint her. The first thing we're going to do is add the flesh tones, and we're adding the highlight flesh tone. You can barely see it because it's almost the identical color as the background color. So I'm adding the first flesh tone everywhere I see it, and so that's where the light is hitting her and the light's reflecting the most. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and add the second flesh tone, and that's usually surrounds the highlight. So if you don't remember, I don't know if you remember, but the first highlight was white, and the transparent Mars with transparent Mars brown or deep rose along with the gray 8, and the second highlight was white with deep rose along with gray 5 with a little bit of cadmium yellow. And now also with the accent flesh, which is the darkest flesh we have, that one is usually around where there's folds, like the folds of the skin where the bone is a little bit more pronounced. It's also on the bottom of the neck. That's where your darkest shadow is going to be. See, now you're starting to see how I'm adding for the whole face. I have the flesh 1, and then surrounding the flesh 1 is flesh 2, and surrounding the flesh 2 is flesh 3, and then the half tone wherever the shadow is around the cheek, and of course in the bottom of the neck is where you'll be seeing the shadow, which is number 5 right there. Now when it gets darker, that's going to be the number 6 that's on your paper. And what I'm doing is I'm just applying the colors around. I'm not doing any blending at this time. Very lightly. Now I'm starting to blend. And how you do a blending, you just run the clean brush along both colors. Run them in the direction the skin is. See, there it is. It's smoothing out. Don't forget to keep cleaning your brush. See right there, you see me blending. And I blend very lightly. If you blend really hard, you'll remove the paint. Also for the cheek, I added a little bit of deep rose to give it that color. That rosy looking cheek color. So you can see now I'm blending. Everything is just blending both colors together, just running the brush across both colors. Very lightly. And it's not like you do a lot of blending, you're just running the brush. You could actually see a little bit of the deep rose. Remember, that is halftone along with the shadow. I'm applying some halftone around the ear section because it's a little bit darker on that side. I'm also making sure that you can see the warm light, the number 2, around the neck. And that's where you can see like lightest before you see the darkest. You'll see a little bit dark and then a little bit of light on the neckline, the jawline, and then you also see it where the neck is right by the scarf. At this point I'm just blending away. Also adding some colors if I see that it needs a little bit more of the halftone. And then also adding highlight on the nose. Just because you lay your paint one time doesn't mean you can't go back and add more highlights. I'm working around the ear. I'm actually adding halftone to create the creases of the ear. Right there, you can see it. Now, in the area where it's the darkest, I'm going to put the halftone along with the shadow, but where it's the darkest area in the ear, I'm going to put that accent. And I will have to go back and do it several times because the color's kind of light, and when I put the accent, it kind of blends in with the light color. And I don't know if you know, but as I'm applying the color, the opaque colors, because now we're not using any of the liquid original, it's just the normal oil colors. It's covering all my pencil drawing. I'm trying to add the halftone and it's just blending in. It's not giving me the dark color I really want, so I'm adding a little bit of highlight, which is the number 1, to give me that contrast that I'm looking for. As you can see here, I'm adding the highlight so I can pop a little bit more, because at this point I felt that it was kind of blending in a little too much. You couldn't really see the highlights. Just going back and blending too. It's important to blend and not create any hard edges and smooth them out so that way they go cohesively. Dark accent around the nose.